Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dan Rock's Rock Box. Oh, I've missed you, but thank you all so much for understanding for us not being on last night. We felt that with everything that was going on, it was just best just to let things settle, let things lie, and go over that. But nice to see you here, Leslie. Guten Abend, and hi, Nikki. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Carolin. Robin, nice to see you, sweetheart. And hey, Dawn. Nice for you lot to still join us. And I thought we'd better come online because the weather's gone pants. I'm in a cardi. So, yeah, hopefully, now coming back online again, the sun will come back. It's not doing anything for my tan. I'd have rusted if I went outside today. So, obviously, yes, last night we didn't catch up on our connections, and today is our new day of connecting, carrying with the crystals. So if any guys out there, if we've had a connection with anything that we've been working with the crystals, I know some of us are still working up the chakras, and we're in the pink center, we're in the higher heart. And some of us are just going freestyle. You're just picking the crystal you're feeling connected to and working with that. So if any of you want to just let me know where you're at, let me know what you're doing, because obviously we have got our patterns of Monday and Tuesday, we just connect with that crystal. Wednesday and Thursday, we connect and carry. Friday and Saturday, we connect, carry, and sleep. And Sunday is our day off. But I know this is about the 5th, 6th week we've been into this now, and you are all doing so well, and you're all on different levels and really connecting those crystals. So I know some of you are sleeping with them already, and some of you are doing what the crystal is telling you. So let me know how you all doing. Hi, Belle. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Anne. Hi, Carolyn. Thank you, Nikki. We did feel that. Yeah, and even if it was a special guest, we perhaps would have moved them onto today. So hopefully, but thankfully it was just a Tuesday. So, hey, Sarah, we can do, we can carry on with our special guest, who I have seen. She is linked in. She is down in the bottom there, waiting to go on. The lovely Carolin Biggs. She's normally commenting at the moment, and she's perhaps dying to let us know her crystal connection. But she is in the waiting room. She might be talking to Biggles. Biggles might be talking to her, settling her in, making sure that she's okay. So, Lucy, I decided to stay with my pink opal, even though I had felt like it needed to change. Yesterday, I connected and got a feeling of sadness. Which I hadn't expected. I say a big candy floss coloured heart and small stick people running around it. Bit of a weird one. I really love the rain. Yeah, to be fair, the gardens need this rain. The wildlife needs this rain. My Saint-Tropez tan does not do this rain. But yeah, it's beneficial. We need this. So I'm glad you decided to stay with the pink opal, because that itself is a change. Opal brings change. And that might coincide with a sadness. There might be something that is a part of you that's attached to you. And even though if it's a blockage, if it's something that needs to shift, it might be something that we've grown to be or grown to have around. So if it is releasing something, you might think, oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. Let that go. So be with that. But the candy floss heart, the candy floss coloured heart, that, that sweet, divine sugary rush energy. Perfect for pink opal. So thank you, Lucy. Keep up with that. Sarah, I've been connecting with my new Gemmy Rhodonite. Oh, Gemmy Rhodonite. Tell me about this, sweetheart. I've been quite irritated by loved ones during the current situation. As soon as I picked this up, I felt instant calm and a sense of deep, unconditional love. Yeah. I keep finding myself with it sat on my heart chakra. Lovely. When I connected, I saw a dragon head made of Gemmy Rhodonite breathing fire. Not in a scary way, but in a passionate, almost spiritual way. I also saw a dragon's egg made of it too. Not sure if it's a coincidence. There might be a little bit there, but that is amazing. Yes, yes, yes. And although I still would use this on the base chakra, it's very much up here because the Gemmy stuff is red. It's that lush pink, unconditional love, absolutely. And seeing that dragon, which is quite a coincidence, because I think tonight we're going to be covering a little bit of dragon energy with the lovely Carolin. But yeah, not in a scary way, but a passionate. Absolutely, Sarah. Banging connection. Love it. Thank you, sweetheart. The gorgeous Anne Paulette. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, sweetheart. We're down to doing Anne and Molly's workshop. Well, Anne and Georgie, but sadly Georgie can't make it. So it's one wizard and one crystal pixie, which is Anne Paulette and Molly. We're doing their workshop on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. I connected with my turquoise yesterday. Lots of beautiful blue clouds. I was laying down looking at the patterns, fell asleep and woke up this morning with turquoise in my bed. Did you? So I was laying down looking at the patterns, fell asleep and woke up this morning with turquoise in my bed. So was there turquoise to begin with? Was that what you were doing? You were connected with turquoise and then you fell asleep and it was there? Or did turquoise manage to get into your bed? But that's hilarious, but beautiful. Thank you very much, Anne. Okay, Lucy, I connected later in the day today with my pink opal. I got a red Chinese dragon energy coming along, the one where people are underneath. Yes, it was dancing towards me, and for some reason I felt worried. Forgot to carry, as I have no concept of days. Lol, will carry tomorrow. That's absolutely fine. I know that's the problem when we don't come on. I'm not there to prompt what the next day you do with your connections, because it is hard. We do lose track of time. So yeah, absolutely. But carry it with you if you feel drawn to. So Sarah, not sure if it's a coincidence, but I slept with it by my bed, and I kept getting up a lot in the night to go to the toilet. Oh, could be, and especially because you felt that irritant, and then you felt that sense of calm. So that might be a bit of a release. So that might just be going to the toilet is just that shifting, working along, and just allowing things to go, allowing things to release. Releasing can happen in most circumstances, in most ways. So yes. Anne, you love your pink opal, still sleeping with it too. You've got to. I have them all lined up before I go to bed, and it's like, who's coming to bed with me tonight? And so many times I've gone up to bed and I've gone, no, you're not right. Gone downstairs, swapped them over, I've gone back upstairs. No. So yeah, when they start coming into your bed, it's a whole new ball game. So Have I got a pink opal handy? I haven't got a pink opal with me, Ange, but I can take some pictures afterwards. Off the top of my head, I don't know what we've got in the storeroom, but I have got. I've got some turquoise coming, Nikki. I've only got little pieces, which is buffalo blue. I'm smiling at that because I think last time I said that I was in fits of giggles because I think I called it Buffalo Billy or something like that. Because that's from a throat chakra workshop and we only use small pieces. But I have got some bigger pieces coming. I'm not quite sure if there's a palm size there, but I'll have a look for you. Oh, yes, you was connecting with the turquoise and it was in your hand before I went to sleep. Need to connect earlier. You do, but it's one of the ways I really like to get into it when I first started, because when you're in that dozy moment, I really feel that's a nice way to go and connect with the crystals, because you're already kind of like there. And I find it's like a setup of a guided meditation. If I'm in that dozy moment and I'm connecting that crystal and that crystal telling me things, and then I fall asleep, I feel I'll go into a deeper sleep, and I feel that the dreams, what I experienced through that night, are a lot more comforting and a lot more positive. So if anyone's having any destructive sleep or anything keeping them awake, I would say connect with the crystal just before you go to sleep, because you're in that zone, you're in that energy, and that just then takes you through to hopefully a real nice sleep. So, Nikki, I lost. You lost a Friday a few weeks ago and was gutted. I like Fridays. I like Fridays. Oh, Karen. Oh, bless you. Yeah, it is awful when you drop a crystal. But majority of our crystals that are broken, we've got in our flower beds and in our plant pots. I've got quite a couple of green opal galleys that have broken, and I just put them in there as succulents, which was quite funny actually, because Monday morning I always try and tune in to Em's Low. She does her crystals and coffee mornings on Saltwater Gaia, and the other day her mum asked her about crystals for the garden and things like that, and it's something I'm not really that confident in, but she mentioned succulents and clear quartz, and we had going to one of our events, a box of our clear quartz wands fell and broke, and Adam actually put the clear quartz wands in the succulent bed, and that was something that Enzo said was a good thing. So it's like, oh, okay, I've got this. I'm doing this all right then. So yeah, see, you know, they've still got their uses. Put them there, but I'll send some pink opal along. Bear will give me a nudge, and so Karen and Ange, I'll send you some pics of the pink opal. No problem. I know we've not got much left, so I might need to order some more in. Yeah, I love turquoise. Oh, okay. It's all right. Some of you, which is absolutely fine, some of you are having conversations. And I've noticed this when I comment on moon kestrels. If I'm replying to some other people, I'm replying to them, but on videos, it's not the same. It doesn't like hide your comment. It's there. So for me, it looks like you're talking to me, but that is fine. Oh, Dawn, yeah. You still are, because there are things that we still need to work on. There's still things that we've really connected with. So if you connected with your fluorite pendulum and you were really liking that, and then all of a sudden it goes and breaks, yeah, it's a horrible feeling. It's a not nice. But there's things that we can do. I mean, I always suggest with selenite, if selenite smashes, which it normally does because it's so soft, I just grind it up into a powder and I just sprinkle it into my bath because it's water soluble. It just, it dissolves. So I bathe in selenite, not often, but that's one thing I would always suggest with selenite. But with the others, pop them around your plant pots, ask what they want to be done. Sometimes things break in half because you need to give somebody half of it. So that is it. So yeah, Karen. And if you want any more information about the crystals and in the garden, Emslow from Saltwater Gaia, she just did a video on Monday about that. But no doubt, if you send her a message, get in touch, she'll give you a few more pointers, a few more tips to do. Right, so that's me done enough gabbing on for a while, and I think our guest is all good and settled in and ready. So if we are all sitting comfortable, then I will ask you all to give such a warm welcome to Carolin Biggs, our little reptile energy worker.
Hi.
Hello. You okay?
Oh, a bit nerve-wracking. Bit nerve-wracking, but
I thought I would give some time for the nerves to settle in, but thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, the connection's a bit slow. You're very welcome. And yeah, because you've been a loyal viewer on Dan Rox, and every now and again you have popped in comments about your reptiles and about you being out in the sun with them and doing that. And I thought to myself, wow, this sounds quite interesting, because people connect with the furries. Everyone loves connecting with fox energy and bear energy. Then you have those who like to connect with the bird energy, with the eagles and robins. And then everyone loves connecting with whales and dolphins. But for me, there's not that many, apart from dragon, which has been popping up this evening on the connections. There's not really that much for me out there about reptile energy. So if we could just start by me asking you, how did you get into this?
That goes back all the way back to my childhood, because I always knew that I was different. I knew things other people didn't know. I've seen things other people didn't see, and I couldn't make sense of it. So I kind of like put it to the side. Don't talk about it. Don't let people know that you're weird, kind of thing. And I had, when I was a child, I had an imaginary friend when I was a child who was a dragon, and just things like that. Kind of, it was always in the back of my head, but just move along with it, kind of stay under the radar. And then the reptiles came to the journey when I was a child, and I was watching Steve Irwin. I don't know if you remember him, the guy with, oh my God, that's a deadly snake, I have to pick it up. And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I never
Like,
no, I never thought about having a reptile as a pet.
I was a huge fan of Steve Irwin.
No, he was brilliant. And I watched one of his Australia specials, and he jumped out of his car, ran around the Jeep in the middle of the desert, and in his typical Steve Irwin way, oh my God, look at this. Look, it's a wild animal and I can pick it up and look how beautiful it is. And it's a blue-tongued skink. And I just instantly, I started shouting to my mum who was in the kitchen. I was like, Mum, I need a blue-tongued skink. And she just popped her head out of the kitchen, looked at the TV, and she was like, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to give you any money for that. That's not coming in my house. And so I had it in the back of my head since then. I need a blue-tongued skink.
So that's where it started from. And then there was a spiritual way that you got. Was it a spiritual thing that you did to get the money?
It was the when I got to my teenage years. So like I said, I've had I know there is something else in this world in the back of my head, and I had in the back of my head, I want a blue-tongued skink. I haven't seen them ever since. I've seen them once on Steve Irwin, but I knew that I needed a blue-tongued skink. So I had those two things in the back of my mind, and I just carried on with my normal everyday life. And one day when I was a teenager, my friend called me and she was like, you won't believe it. I booked an appointment with a gypsy to get my cards read. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, it might be interesting. I'll come with you. So we went there and knocked on the door, and she opened the door and she came straight over to me, took my hand, and she said, you're here to see me. And I was like, huh? My friend was like, no, I booked the appointment. It's my appointment. And she just looked at my friend and was like, no, she's here to see me. Come in. So that is when I met my teacher. Because, like I said, there were loads of things that I've seen in my childhood. There were loads of things that I knew that I couldn't have known. And she did the cards for me, and she said to me, you're completely open. You have never learned how to close yourself up. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So that is when she started working with me on my energy, starting to control my own energy, the conscious opening, closing, now it's my time. And yeah, she was a brilliant teacher. We did all the little things, you know, when you start holding hands and you transfer energy from one hand to the other, you make each other's arms tingle, stuff like that. And it was completely mind-blowing to me that is actually real as a teenager. And every time when she did my cards, she always said to me, don't look into my cards. And I thought, what is she talking about? I'm not looking into anything here. And one day, she started shuffling the cards, and she pulled some cards and she put them in front of her, and she said, read the cards for me. And I was like, huh? What do you mean, read the cards for you? And she was like, I give you this one time, I give you permission to look into my cards and you read the cards for me. And it was just natural. It was just, I did her cards, and she was like, yeah. She said, I've always known it, but I wanted you to be in control first. So she said to me, go get yourself some cards.
Wow.
She told me where to go, because I had absolutely no idea about card shops, crystal shops, anything like that. Like I said, stay under the radar. And she said to me, go and get the cards that speak to you. So I went to the shop, found my cards, got them here if you're interested in seeing them. The box is completely broken. They are quite old, so that is the last little bits of the box. But
it proves how much they are loved, Carolin. Proves how much they are loved and used.
Yeah. So I found my cards. They were speaking to me. I went home. I was completely excited. So I was like, I pull a card for myself. And I pulled a card for me, and it was death. So I was like, okay, doesn't work for myself. Do it for someone else. I had some friends come round. I said, here. I shuffled the cards. I was like, here, pulled a card, and it was death. So next friend, I was like, okay, it doesn't work for you. Took it away from her. I was like, here, you pull a card, and it was death again. And that is when I called my teacher, and I was like, I think I bought evil cards. Maybe I'm evil. I started questioning everything again. And she was okay. She took it seriously. She was really good. Yeah, she said to me, let me take my son to my parents so he's not in the house. And then you come around and we have a look at it. And I went around with my cards, completely beaten, because I thought I had a gift. Then 3 times death, and I thought, no, there is absolutely nothing. And walked through her door, and she just started laughing at me, and she was like, no, they're not evil, they're just very, very honest, and you have to bond with them first, and you have to, they're telling you death isn't death, it is change, and you have to change your approach, and you have to connect to your cards first, friends with your cards. She was an absolutely amazing teacher, and yeah, since then I connected to my cards. I was absolutely happy. It was absolutely natural. And then I started doing readings for friends, and then from readings for friends, they came with friends, so it was kind of like a £5 for a reading as a teenager. And yeah,
and this was over in Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was still all in Germany. Yeah, I grew up in Germany, and I, with my card reading money, and then it was my birthday, and I had some birthday money. That was when I said to a friend, I've got some money, take me to the reptile shop where I've never been before. I haven't heard or seen anything else about blue tongue skinks. There wasn't internet then. I was one of the cool kids. We didn't have internet, so I couldn't even look online. I had no idea if you can have them as a pet, nothing. And I said to him, take me to the reptile shop for the very first time. I've got money in my pocket. And yeah, we went into the reptile shop, and there was a blue tongue skink sitting in a vivarium for sale.
That is amazing.
It all falls into place when it's the right time.
Yeah. And is this a blue tongue skink that you've got with you at the moment?
Yes, this is Cuddles. I've got Cuddles for
this is Cuddles.
8 years now. This is Cuddles. You saying hi?
How old is he?
Cuddles is 8 now. 8 years old.
I thought he said 18. I was like, whoa. So I got to know these the other day, because when we were doing our little catch up that I do with people who are coming online, you had these amazing Cuddles and Magic.
And Magic, yeah, Magic is at the back. She's a bit playful at the moment, because it is I do energy work with them, but they're still pets. So sometimes with her, it's no, I'm just a pet. I want to play, and I'm not interested in going off other places, exploring energy and stuff like that. She will do it sometimes, but sorry.
And when while we're on with the blue tongues, you know, an amazing story that I loved about the blue tongues. Would you share that with the viewers?
Yes, it's an old Aborigine story from Australia, and it goes all the way back to the beginning of time when man got really, really sick and man was about to die. And the only thing that could save him was the magic ink from the magic squid. But man was too sick to go to the ocean to find the magic squid. So Lizard, his friend, volunteered to get him the magic ink. So Lizard ran all the way to the ocean to find the magic squid. And when he found the squid, he realized that he was in such a hurry that he didn't bring a container to take the ink back. So the squid gave the lizard the ink, and the lizard carried it back in its mouth. And he ran all the way back to his best friend Man to save him. And when Man was saved with the magic ink and he was healed, you could see that Lizard had changed. His legs were fully run down. Blue-tongued skinks have quite short and stumpy legs. His legs were really run down, and his tongue was dyed blue. And Man said, we can have a look if we can change you back to your normal appearance. But Lizard said no, that he wanted to stay like this as a reminder for the friendship between Man and Lizard.
That story warms my heart, and I just think that, you know, in the 21st century, that story needs to be told more about the relationship humans have with the animals. And I just think we need to remember these old stories and rekindle that relationship, and remember that we are equal on this planet and we are friends. I love that story. Yes, it's amazing. So with the blue tongues that you've got, so how do you work with them in an energy level?
The thing is with Mr. Cuddles is pretty open for anything. If I want to go out in the garden and meditate, he's up for it. If I want to do work with the pendulum, he's up for it. If I want to just connect with him, maybe with a crystal, maybe go off, because it is quite similar to dragon energy. So they can take you far, far away. But because it's reptile energy, they're still grounded. They're still in this planet. So where with dragon energy, when I work with dragon energy, it's give me a Lemurian crystal, link into the dragons, and it's off.
You're off to join the space station. You're gone. You're out of orbit.
Yeah, something like that. So with these, if you link in with them, it is more as if you go with dragon energy, but have maybe a grounding stone with you at the same time that keeps you grounded, keeps you happy on this planet. So you have the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, it is just like having, because when I want to travel, I have to have that grounding crystal by my feet. So I know I'm returning back to Earth, and I'm just not going to live in a fantasy world. So the skinks are quite like that.
Yeah.
That's the energy that they work with.
Yeah, they all have this really ancient energy, because when you think, I think the oldest human that they found is something around 300,000 years. The oldest human body, and they found skink fossils that are 25 million years old.
Wow.
So when you think 300,000 years is old, but then you put 25 million years in relation to that.
Yeah.
So they have seen it all, they know it all.
And also it's that change, isn't it? We've evolved, whereas majority of the reptiles have stayed the same. They've done their evolving and they've spent millions of years being the same. And so they are so in that energy. They're in that, whereas we are changing. So we're not settled yet. We are still moving on.
Yeah, and it's when you think we are still looking into the pineal gland, it's a lot of talk about it at the moment. With the skinks, they've got a little. Do you want to show it? No, you don't want to.
Show the picture? We've got the
asking him.
To pop it up.
Yeah, I think picture is better. He's not in the mood today to show it.
If we could put the picture up, Biggles, of is it Mr. Cuddles' head? Is this?
Yes, that's Cuddles.
Magic?
That's Mr. Cuddles, yeah.
Okay, so here we are seeing the head of the skink.
You've got the different patterns. It's almost like a diamond-shaped pattern. And you've got the little grey dot in the big diamond behind the two little round scales. Yeah. And that grey dot is actually his third eye. It lets light through, and it is directly linked to his pineal gland. Scientists don't really know what it does, but they know it lets light through.
All these shapes on his head, they are just, I feel like, you know, within time, we could read these scales. And that one in the center where the third eye is, how much that looks like a crystal. I hope the viewers can see the picture and can see that crystal shape. It looks amazing. It's so perfectly formed. And then in the center there, you should be able to see a grey dot. And that's the third eye.
Yeah, the scientists aren't 100% sure what it does because you can't ask them, they can't tell us, but they know it's directly linked to the pineal gland. So they know it lets light through, and it has something to do with orientation, feelings, knowing where to go. Is it day, is it night? Kind of the awareness.
Wow.
It is awareness.
It's crazy. I love that. When you showed me that the other day, I was blown away. Like, oh my God, I love it. These are just so magical. I think I'm starting to look at reptiles in a whole new light. With you being on board, it's certainly opened my eyes to this. It's incredible.
And they're just like dragons. They want to share. There is a difference, of course, with Mr. Cuddles. Like I said, he's up for anything. He came from a breeder 8 years ago, and he never had a bad day in his life. So he's really just, let's be friends. I give you my wisdom. If you can come on my journeys, I take you. If you can comprehend the wisdom that I know, you're welcome to it. Where with Magic, you can have a look if she wants to come out in a second. She was a rescue. She was very, very poorly when I got her. And so with her, she likes to share, but she also likes to be a pet. So they're still my pets. I'm not just taking Mr. Cuddles out every day and it's like, work with me. No, we're sitting on the sofa together and we're watching TV together and eat grapes together or melon together, stuff like that.
Beautiful.
But Mr. Cuddles he's really up for sharing his wisdom, where Magic is more like, now we can work, now we're just playing. It's just, she really wants to enjoy her life. With her, I had a really strong connection when I first got her. She was I didn't plan on getting a second skink. I was just scrolling through Facebook and her picture came up and I thought, oh, that looks really not good. You could see it in her face. She was really dehydrated and just not good. And she was for sale, and the people said she comes with everything that you need. What was a vivarium, what was barely long enough for her to stretch out, and shredded paper as a bed. And it was just not good. They wanted to get they wanted to get rid of her because she was aggressive, they said. I got her home, I got her into a suitable vivarium, and she was absolutely fine. And then that is when I started to look at what we have to do to make her feel better. She had a lot of dead skin on her legs. They shed once a month, and if they are not healthy, they can't shed all by themselves. I've got one from now with Mr. Cuddles. That is a little bit of Mr. Cuddles' shed, so it comes off in big pieces.
Beautiful.
So that is a healthy shed. What comes off without any problems once a month. If they're not healthy and they can't shed properly, she had loads of dead skin on her toes, and that got that gets really dry, really tight. So when I started trying to wash it off her toes were already dead. They just fell off. When the skin came off, toes just fell off. Wants to come out.
Yeah, we're talking about her. Let's give her 15 minutes of fame.
Do you want to say hi, Magic?
Hey, Magic.
Try. Cuddles, you come into this hand, into this arm. So with her, you can see she's got a little bit of her top jaw missing. There's a little gap there. That was a mouth rot. So she had really bad mouth rot when I got her. The toes here on this foot, one is missing. I don't know if you can see it. That was Mr. Cuddles almost flying.
Oh yeah.
You can go on the table then. So she lost some toes. There's one missing here, and she had mouth rot. And then I saw that she had quite a few open wounds under her stomach, under her feet, under her tail. Her tail is still kinky. It's really kinked. It's not straight. That's all the malnourishment.
Oh.
And when I started to wash out the wounds, to disinfect them, little white worms came out of these wounds.
Ooh.
And that was when I personally said to keep her alive is cruelty. I said I would have done everything else, the toes, the mouth rot, but keeping her alive with worms, and I said no. And I made the decision then to have her put down. And I was 100% convinced, and no one could have convinced me otherwise, because I was saying she is in pain, she's not feeling well.
And that's for the best. And
it was, in my opinion, it was for the best to put her down. And then I was sitting there with her trying to kind of like say goodbye and tell her I've tried, I would have tried. And from one second to the next, my complete mindset changed, and I knew she wanted to live.
Oh my God.
That was when she must have dipped in, and it was genuinely, I was 100% sure she's going to be put down. And from one second to the next, it was no, she wants to live. And if she wants to live and she's ready to fight, it was okay, let's do this together.
So how long have you had her now?
3 years.
3 years. I mean, how incredible. It's so magic. It's her name. It's magical that, you know, that split second that she's just gone, actually, can I hold on a bit longer? And 3 years on, with your amazing work with her, and I'm not surprised she wants to be a pet. She's found the person that she's meant to be with. So it's like, Mum, I'm with you in energy, but sometimes I just want to be a pet because I didn't have that chance with the previous people. So bless her. What an amazing, remarkable story. That is,
it's the thing. She's not the most beautiful skink on the planet, but we all have our lumps and bumps.
We do. And through lockdown, I've gained a few more lumps and bumps. Yeah, but the story just makes her glow and makes you glow. But it's not just the skinks you've got. You do work with other reptiles as well. And another one of those was a rescue one, yeah?
Yes, Manakil. I had a look if he wanted to, but he's a boa, and he's got a pipe as a hide. I really wanted him to be here because he's really nice, but he's completely wedged himself into his pipe and he doesn't want to come out. I could prod him out, but if he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to.
That is okay. We do have a picture of the boa constrictor. So what's his name?
Merkiel.
Merkiel.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone works with the angels and knows who Manakil is.
Oh, so his name is it? I'm a little bit rough on angels. So he's named after an angel.
Yes, because when I didn't plan on getting him either, it was the same as with magic. It's the thing, reptile equipment can be quite expensive. And there was a reptile rescue who he retired, and he was given away some of his equipment quite cheap. And I thought, yeah, go have a look. And I went there and he said to me, oh, I've got this boa and he is really aggressive. I don't know where to give him to. He is healthy. He had him for a month. He said, but I've got him because the people are scared of him. He's not been handled. He said, I don't know, I can't give him just to anyone. And yeah, kind of for giggles, got him out. We got him out. Yeah.
For giggle. We've got an aggressive boa here. Oh, okay. Let's go up and say hello.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's me. No, and got him out, and he was absolutely fine. He was absolutely fine. And that person said to me, oh my God, I've never seen him like that before. And he said to me, can you please take him? He said, you don't have to pay for him, just take him. And yeah, so I took him home and I looked at him. He's got a massive cross on his head. That is why I thought he needs an angel name, something churchy, something angely.
Yeah.
And so I'm not up to date with my angels. So I had a look around and I found Manakil, the angel with the knowledge of good and evil.
Beautiful. What a fantastic. And I can see, and it does look like the charocyte, the crystal that we had on last Friday's market. it with that cross. Beautiful.
Yeah, he's got the cross, and he's got a little moustache as well. That's not very spiritual.
I think I can make out. I think I can make out his little moustache. Bless him. So, with Boa energy, how is that different to the skink energy? Or how is snake different to lizard?
With what I know from these, from Cuddles and Magic, they give. Like I said, with Mr. Cuddles, it's just if you can tap in, have it. Where with Manakil, you have to ask him nicely, and then he will decide if you are ready to go on a journey with him. Because he is a lot more on the ball sometimes than I am. When I've got someone come around for a reading or something, and I'm still on put the kettle on, do you want a tea or coffee or tea? And I hear a smack, bang from behind me, and it's him attacking the glass. When I look at him, and it's like, what's going on? And I just get in my head, shadow work. So I'm looking at the person, I'm just making tea, coffee. So it's kind of like, get through the tea, coffee stage, sit down. Yeah, he's already there. So that is when I link in. So when I link in and get the cards out, that is when I'm like, oh, by the way, shadow work. And that is when, so he knows it long before I even started to tap into it.
That is beautiful. So he's very interested. I'm actually falling in love with his face. I'm loving that crosswork. His patterning is gorgeous.
That is another thing that I love to do with him. I don't want to say it's like yoga or anything, but it's doing a pause, breathing, the conscious breathing, and just having him go all over you, over the shoulders, over the arms, and focus on his patterns, on his scales, because he's got there's lovely patterns. There is so much ancient knowledge. It's almost like symbols, lines that you can just read ancient knowledge on his skin.
Beautiful. He is stunning. He is stunning. And then, are we okay to move on to the next? I think, is it a gecko we've got next?
Oh, that's Oreo.
Oreo, the gecko.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know you had these ones. When you sent me pictures, I was like, Struth. she's got herself a little reptile family here.
Yeah, we've got a little zoo.
I love geckos.
Yeah, with her, I have to say she's my daughter's gecko. So I don't do much work with her, but I think with her, if I ever envision meeting Buddha or someone like that, that would be the energy, because she's definitely the smallest reptile we have, who should be scared of. And you can see how she's laying on top of her hide, asleep, half asleep, with her arm to the side and legs found out. She has no care in the world. She has absolutely no care in the world.
Beautiful. What type of gecko is she?
She is a leopard gecko.
I thought so with the patterning. I was going to say a leopard, but I thought no, I'll let. But yeah, beautiful patternings. So she would perhaps be, like you say, if you're going to meet Buddha. So she's like the energy of ascension to meet the ascended masters.
Yeah, she is really just, she has no care in the world. She's really like, no, that's all right. absolutely calm and collect. She, when you see her hunt, she is focused. She has the focus. She's a brilliant hunter. When I see the skinks fight with a cherry or something, that is when I think, oh my God, they wouldn't survive in the wild for 5 minutes. But with
oh God, hard work.
yeah, but with her, she has the focus. When she hunts, she has the focus. But then also she absolutely doesn't. She doesn't have a care in the world. She's not scared of anything. She's just like, yeah. And like I said, she is my daughter's, and my daughter is starting to dream travel now. Oh. She told me over the last couple of weeks, a couple of times where she went and what she's doing. So I asked Oreo, I was like, can you please just make sure? And she went, yeah, do that. And there is not a care in the world.
That is stunning. Thank you, Oreo, for sharing your lovely energy. It's a cracking photo. It's beautiful. I can't wait to meet these. Yeah, that's one of my favourites of them. Yeah, I can't wait to meet these in the flesh. And is there any more? Is there anyone else?
Yeah, we've got Nanami as well. I sent you a picture of.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. So what type
she is a Japanese rat snake.
Rat snake.
Yes. And with her, it's completely different again. Where like I said, with Manakil, you have to ask nicely. You have to do the same with her. But with her, I've never done that before. It's completely new with her. I started humming to her and vocalizing with her just because it feels right.
Brilliant.
I'm doing all of my work purely intuitive with my cards, with energy work. If someone wants a healing or something, is all purely intuitive. So I can't tell you what's going to happen.
No.
It's just what happens, and I'll let you know what's going on.
Yeah, because there are two different types of snake, because you've got Manakil, which is a constrictor. They'd constrict their prey. But then you've got...
She constricts as well.
Can she constrict as well?
Yeah.
I thought she was more into the bite.
No, they both bite and hold, and then they curl.
Oh, wow. But again, this is what I find fascinating. And I will say to the viewers, when we were having this discussion the other day on Facebook, and you were like, do you think people will be interested in hearing this? And I'm like, damn, yeah. They're going to say, because it's something that we're not, we don't really explore in. And I think, like you said with Manakil, when he strikes out about the shadow self, I think there is still so much darkness related to reptiles. I think there is so much black magic and voodoo, taboo. Oh gosh, snakes are bad. So I think for you to come on here and to say, actually, this is what the lizards and the snakes are, is amazing, and really has opened my eyes into how beautiful these are. And yes, we should give them a little bit of our energy.
Yeah, it's the people connect to everything. I connect to other things. I've got dogs as well as pets. I've got a horse. I absolutely love the dogs. I love the horse. But I don't have the same connection. So I think everyone needs to find what they connect with. There are people that connect to crystals. There are people that connect to trees. Some people love birds. When I'm out with the horse and I see a rabbit, I go out for a ride and I see a rabbit, or we see some birds of prey hovering above. I absolutely love it, and it warms my heart, and I'm grounded and I'm in the moment. But I don't think that I could connect to that bird in the same way that I can connect to these guys. So I think everyone needs to find their own thing and just go with it, even if it's just something stupid from your childhood in the back of your head.
Because what was yours when you were childhood?
Pardon?
Because there was a story there where your being that you saw was a pink dragon.
Yeah, that was I reconnected later. I always thought, like I said, it was imaginary friends, and don't tell anyone because you don't want to be the crazy one. And so I started doing my tarots and I loved it. I felt so connected. And then I started doing tarot for a big phone line. What for some people it's good work, and you've got lovely people calling, you get lovely connections there. But for me, it wasn't the right way. I felt really, really drained afterwards. You had lovely people calling you, but you had some people where you thought, no, I wouldn't want to. You had people calling you where you thought, I want to give you more, but I don't want to keep charging you stuff. So it was just not for me. My energy was completely unbalanced then, and it was getting harder. Where the tarot was always a natural thing for me, it became hard work to the point where I thought, no, I'm losing the connection to my deck. I'm losing the connection to whatever it was. And I went to another reader, and she said to me, oh, who do you connect to? I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, who's your guide? I was like, huh? I'm doing tarot. And she was like, yeah, but who is your guide? I was like, I have no guide, so I'm doing tarot. And she was like, you go and get yourself some angel oracle cards or something, and you connect to the angels and you find your guide and this and that and the other. And I thought straight away, I don't want to connect to the angels. I like the angels, but it's not my way. So, but I didn't want to lose the connection to the cards, to the people that I connected with through the cards. So I went to the crystal shop around the corner, and I looked and I was like, I don't want to buy angel cards. I really don't need angel cards. And then I looked in the shelf, and she had dragon cards there. And I was like, oh my God, I like dragons. Yeah, why not? And I grabbed the dragon cards, and she said, oh, they just come in, they're brand new. I was like, yeah, dragon cards. Let's have a look with connecting to God.
Sorry, just to interrupt. This was Molly from Hearth and Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live right around the corner from her. It's not good for my bank account.
It's not, we can name drop. We can name drop. We love Molly. We can mention her name all the time. So you got these cards from there?
Yeah, I thought I'd do it like with my tarot cards that I had when I was a teenager. I thought you need to connect to the cards. So I sat down and I looked at every single card by itself. And then I got almost to the bottom of the deck. Mm-hmm. And then I had this card come up. And I was just completely gobsmacked because that is my imaginary friend. And I thought, how can
from all those years ago?
Yeah, I thought, how can a nursery age child, it was before nursery even, I can remember her from since I can remember. And I thought, how can I make up a pink dragon from Andromeda? I did. So I was completely gobsmacked. I stopped looking at the card straight away, and I went back to the reader who said, "Go find yourself a guide." And I told her, and she said to me, "Yeah, it's not your imaginary friend then. It was never your imaginary friend. That's your guide. Go and connect."
No,
so that is when I connected to her again, to the dragons. And since then, I connected to a lot more dragons, doing a lot more stuff with dragon energy, working with dragon energy. I've done dragon energy courses, so I've got certificates in being a teacher and healer, and that I have to admit I never really used what I learned then. Because I do come straight from one second to the next, what's in here comes out of here.
Yeah, you got something to back that up, but you're a very intuitive lady, so you've got that. Thank you very much for my certificate, but I'm going to work on what I'm guided to.
Yeah. That is just the whole idea. So I never made a big plan about working with the reptiles. Beautiful. Or a plan of how anything is going. I'm a Sagittarius, sun, moon, so whatever pops in there.
That is amazing. Just to pop in, because there's someone called Dee Dee on who is commenting. Unfortunately, Dee Dee, we're only just having a chat about the tarot and about the oracle. If you would like to have a reading, please go over to Carolin's Facebook page, where I'm sure she would love to answer your question and give you a further insight. Okay, but tonight we're only just having a little discussion. Okay, so because you have got a Facebook page set up, you're on Facebook.
Yes.
Are you still there?
I thought I lost you then. I started panicking.
No, you're still there. That's okay.
Yeah, no, that was when I...
It's the reptile energy.
That was my... I started connecting because it's not my way. And at that point where I started my own Facebook page, and I was planning on going to events this year, to the holistic
Oh, you're crackling up. I think your connection is going a bit there. You're freezing a lot there.
Okay, yeah, I can see both of us sometimes. I've no idea what's going on. I told you I'm not a tech person.
You're good now. You're good now. But you're hoping to go along to some events and festivals this year to start doing readings?
Yeah, I want do it as online, over Facebook, over Zoom meetings and stuff like that. Go out face.
I think that's... Are you still there? Have we lost Carolin? We did so well. Well, we have put... Oh, are you back?
Yeah, I don't know. I keep losing you, then you...
Okay. Well, I will just tie this up so we don't lose each other. We have got your link to your Facebook page, so we're going to pop that up there for people to come and find you, because you also do resin jewelry.
Yes, I started
Which
doing the last couple of months.
I was hoping to try and discuss that a little bit, but I don't know if the connection is going to allow us to do that. But if you want to just try it, go for it.
I might pop you back in then. That's the thing, couples on the table, like a good boy.
Now, are we losing you? Okay. Are you there, Carolin?
I'm trying, but maybe it's not the right time.
Maybe it's not. Carolin, I'm going to let you go off.
Okay.
Oh, no, you're back.
Thank you for having me.
That's
Cuddles again.
Hey, Cuddles. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Certainly opened my eyes, and I cannot wait, because to know that you're only up in Bideford, I really want to meet up face to face and meet some of these guys face to face. I think the way you work is magical. It's really good, and I'll look forward to working with you more and getting to know you more. So thank you so much, and I'm going to pop you back down in the waiting room where you can disconnect, and I'll send you a message later on, and then I will just tie up the evening. But thank you so much, sweetheart. Sorry, the connection has brought it to... Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Carolin. Right, we'll pop you back down there, and then I will just end up this evening's video. Okay. Oh, what a shame that that connection was going a bit then, but hopefully you caught a lot of that. But also, just to talk a little bit more about what she does, because we did talk about her jewelry. She does do her own resin jewelry, but the skin that she was showing you, that shed from Mr. Cuddles, she actually uses a bit of that skin in to the resin. So for people who really want to work in that reptile energy, she incorporates that in that as well. So, but obviously that's her Facebook page. Please jump on board and ask her any of those questions that she's got going on there. What a truly lovely lady, and I'm so glad that she has supported Dan Rox and been following the videos, because when she's been saying about working with these reptiles, I really wanted to delve in deep, and I'm glad that you guys came on board and really supported her. So just to give you a heads up of what is going on for the rest of the week. So tomorrow, on Friday, we've got the full moon, and we've also got the lunar eclipse. It's the strawberry moon. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing our live altar. We're going to be bringing in what we need. It's the full moon, so it's time to release that. And for those of you who were with us at the new moon, and we wrote our intentions, and I've got them in the bowls, or you've got them under your own stones on your own private individual altars, we're going to release them. We're going to set them free. You can either do that tomorrow with us, or wait until Friday when it's the full moon. So we're going to go through that. Then Friday, we've got our market, our online market on the Friday. And then Saturday, stop the press. I have my first male interview person coming on board. Our first male guest, we have Patrick Gamble in the house. He's going to be coming on board. I would like to say it's going to be an hour interview. Although, be prepared to bring your night flask, your PJs, your sleeping bag. We could be in for the long haul, because there is so much I want to discuss with that guy. And I know there might be some questions that you guys want to be bringing on board. So he will be coming on. So that's what we've got coming along the next few days. So thank you so much for tonight. Join me again tomorrow at 6 when we go through our live altar. 5 o'clock on Friday for the market, and 6 o'clock for Patrick Gamble. You've been amazing, guys. And thank you so much for Carolin, Magic, Mr. Cuddles, Manacle, and all the other guys. Truly amazing. I've been great. You've been great. Mr. Biggles, do your greatness. Get me out of this place. Have a good